You are watching Access LaPorte County, Channel 97. Coming up next is the March 13th meeting of the Michigan City Board of Aviation Commissioners. You can find more information for this meeting by visiting www.accesslaportecounty.org.
All right, the Board of Aviation Commission meeting called to order. It is now 1 p.m. Today is Thursday, March 13, 2025. This meeting is taking place in the Michigan City Airport building. Members present, we have Jeff Bartlett, Greg Bullen, Kirk Hunter, myself. We have the phone. Others present, we have Jessica Ward, Airport Manager, and Paul Schaefer. So Paul Schaefer is absent today. Nancy Goldenhauer, is she going to be here?
No, I don't think so.
She's absent. Okay. Other members present, community members present. We have Paul Wager, ALPA volunteer. And then we have our camera person, as always. All right, Attorney Bill Nelson is absent. All right. Let's begin with reports.
Sure, you want to do minutes first?
Oh, sorry. Yes, I'm sorry about that. Okay, so let's. Everybody had a chance to look at the minutes from the last meeting.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Yeah.
All righty. So get a motion?
I'll make a motion that we approve the February 13th, 2025 regular meeting minutes.
All right, all in favor of that motion?
A second.
Aye. Aye.
All right, now reports?
All right, motion carries. Now reports.
Account balances. So we are currently under our monthly projected budget and all of our budget lines. We did just receive a load of 450 gallons of diesel. So that decreased that budget line. Our new mowers also use diesel. The previous ones use gasoline, so we're going to be ordering more diesel than gasoline. So for our budget next year, I'm going to need to increase our diesel line while decreasing our gasoline. Hoosier Equipment came up in October to repair leaks on the Jet A self-service pump and the Jet A pump on the truck. So they replaced our gasoline hose and repaired the nozzle hanger. They also greased all the hose reels for both Avgas and Jet A. They did have some turnover there in-house, so we just now received the invoice for that service call. So that invoice was paid out of our equipment repair line. And that's all I have for account balances. So for fuel sales, overall we sold 363 gallons of 100 low lead, 215 gallons of Jet A, and 52.6 gallons of UL 94 in February. Our current fuel prices are $4.99 for self-service Avgas, $5.14 for full-service Avgas, $3.99 for self and full-service Jet A, and $6.45 for self-service UL 94. Sure. So filter changes, annual service for aviation fuel systems. In January, we did have our annual aviation fuel service completed, which included filter changes on all of our fueling systems. Many parts were replaced on the fueling system, so we received a new ground rail on the Avgas cabinet, a new stop ball for the UL 94 hose, a new Avgas refueling hose, a new Avgas nozzle with mesh strainer, a new Jet A refueling hose, and a single point nozzle with dust cover and a mesh strainer. Many of these items are replaceable, but we only replace them like once every 5 to 10 years, and our filters get changed annually. So, and I do have that invoice here, so you guys can see that. Came out of our aviation fuel. Hangar building rental fee schedule. We have had a few requests over the years for private events in the hangar building next to our terminal building. So I have created a hangar building fee schedule template with the cost for daily private rental and overnight aircraft storage. So the overnight aircraft storage is in line with what's being charged at other airports that have an overnight hangar available. I checked with Stark County, I checked with LaPorte and Gulf Rays out in Plymouth. to kind of put that in line with what they're charging, so that's all, everybody has that. Our building is 67 foot by 50 foot, and the door on it is 39 foot wide by 11 feet 9 inches height. The building capacity is 196 persons. So the private daily rental, that's like just 8 to 5, you know, while we're staffed business-wise here, is $100. We currently can only allow private rentals that are during staffed hours. Any after hours would have to be like pending additional costs for staffing, of course, because we're not here, so we'd have to pay somebody to be here. In our overnight aircraft storage, we talked about that a little bit. So per night, it was 25 for a single and 40 for a twin, is what we discussed. So if everybody is comfortable with those prices, then that's perfect. And then new airport website coming soon. Yay, Nancy! So this week I did. Sure.
Nancy, take it over there?
Nancy Golden Power is president.
Yeah, for council liaison. So this week, I met with our project manager from Sarah Group, yay! Who's creating our new city website, and a few departments are getting their own websites special, and that's fire department, police department, park, and us, yay! So, we're very excited, sure.
So is that, what does that entail? Is that the city designing that, or was that?
Yes, so the city, so it's the Sarah Group is who's designing it for the whole city. So the website that we have now is so fun. We'll just say that. And our new website is actually gonna be practical, where you can, you know, like, find what you're looking for on it is really helpful. So that's the best that I can say. And we've been working on it, the city has been working on a website for a long time, but we just started last week. So our website is gonna be 6 to 8 weeks is what they think is gonna take for the airport website to be done. So we had just like our preliminary meeting, then they're gonna kind of do an organization of what, you know, they think that we'll like, then they come back to me, and then we talk about it and move things around and change things, whatever we need to do. And so then by the time it goes through a couple cycles of that, then it's kind of like published, or, you know, and so that should be about 6 to 8 weeks.
More user-friendly.
Yes. More user-friendly is what the city needs, the whole city, all the websites, so.
Great.
And it'll still have our domain, which is mgcairport.com, that's staying. And all of our email addresses will be changing with that as well, to kind of do what other governments have, so it'll be like jward at, I don't even remember what it is. I think it's something like michigancity.in.gov or whatever that is. So a lot of the other government structure that is going to that, and like all the schools have gone to that structure, and so that's what Michigan City is going to go to as well. So that'll be really nice.
Excellent.
And that's all I had. Yes, I can do airport development as well, real quick. Paul couldn't be here today because he is on an airplane, which is very exciting for him. So for runway 220 extension, we did submit the intent to use the fiscal year 2025 NPE funding. That was approved at the last meeting, so that was submitted to the FAA. And for our runway crack sealing and surface coat, we're getting so close, you guys. So it looks like we're gonna try and have a pre-construction meeting. I think it was gonna be like sometime at the end of March, like maybe the week of March 20th or somewhere in there. I have it in my calendar, but I don't have that for right now. So he's kind of passing that along, and I'll let you guys know when that'll be. If a member or 2 members wanna come from the board, you guys are more than welcome to do that. So the contractors, it still has like the April 20th, I think, start date is kind of what they're pushing for and hoping for, but it just depends on weather, we all know. So we'll have to see how that goes. And then as soon as the construction schedule is sent, then I'll send it out to the tenants right away so they all know when the 2-week runway closure is gonna happen and taxiway closure, so they can all be prepared for that. So
We've sent out a memo, I know, in the last 6 months or so, just to let them know
Yes.
it is coming. So
Yep, everybody knows, that we have the repair, because it was supposed to start in the fall.
Right,
So,
excellent.
we talked about that in the fall,
Excellent,
so. The fuel farm, let's see, so the BOT resolution, it's actually an ordinance, it was carried over by city council for second reading, so that's gonna be on March 18th, May's a little too late. So the FAA indicated they want us to use the FAA construction manager at risk. We kind of talked about this a little bit at the last previous meetings, rather than BOT, but there's no Indiana code for that CMAR, so Paul plans to modify the BOT code to follow the exact CMAR, so he's gonna kind of just merge them both so it works for the FAA and works for the state. So they're repacking the alternate delivery submission to the FAA.
So I have a question, is that gonna have any bearing on the ordinance?
Nope, I already made sure it
Okay,
wouldn't.
great.
Nope, so that would be
And
perfect.
so then I have a question, would you
Sure.
like me to request second and third reading at this next meeting?
If you could, so Paul did, do have a list of questions that Paul said that he answered there. And do you feel like the council was pretty good with he answered all their questions, nobody had any
There
other?
was, yeah.
You haven't heard
I think it went
anything?
extremely well, and I haven't heard anything.
Okay, yeah, so I mean, if you would like to do that, I mean, that'd be fine, and if not, I mean, I could always come to the next two anyway, so that's fine. I mean, I will be there and Paul will probably come back as well.
I think I'll request it of the president. because
Sure.
If we can do it, then
Yeah.
we're done in March. you know.
Okay, yeah, that would be good. So some of the questions that they asked was kind of the advantage of the BOT, so that was a council question that he answered. Why it's important to look at qualifications, what qualifications that we're gonna be looking for the specific project, and if there's any contractors in the area who can do it. And he said there were a few more questions other than that, but those are the ones that he remembered that he answered. And so he said that, yeah, that
And
everything went really
It
well.
went really well.
Yeah,
And
he
I
answered
also
everything.
emphasized that the airport was not asking for additional funding from the city because that's something that always comes up.
Oh, yes.
So
Awesome.
that's how we closed it out.
Yeah,
It's perfect. Thank you.
and so, yeah, there we have the fuel farm, so we're getting closer and closer to that new fuel system. So that's that report.
All right, old business?
We have none?
Okay.
Oh, and you're presenting at this?
Yes,
Okay.
yeah, I am presenting at this board, or the council meeting.
Great.
New business.
Yes, so this is Troy, Sky Sports, 8th operating agreement extension. Okay, Troy, you're up. So TY and I did talk about a couple things to change, if you want to bring that. So I sent that over to Bill, just requesting him to put his, legal wording in there. And so as soon as we get that back about the dog part in the ordinance, or in,
Yeah, in that, the concern was that we were limiting it to Troy alone. We wanted to extend that to not just Troy. We're talking about the dog and the leash on the dog, but we want to extend that to Troy and everybody else that is within that business. So that nobody will come back and say, well, you just only mentioned Troy, and therefore I can bring my dog and I don't have to, be responsible for anything else. So we want to include everybody in the context of that business to be responsible for that particular.
But it kind of should go underneath our resolution that we had, that all dogs on
Correct.
airport property.
Yeah,
yeah, we
should
do
be
have a
under-
resolution,
should be under-
yeah.
We already have that.
Correct.
But this one's.
But this is specific
Yeah.
in his
Yeah.
operating agreement,
Okay,
and so
alright.
he just wanted that to include everybody else.
Sure, absolutely.
Okay. So Bill is gonna write that up in his little legal terms. And then, other than that, is there anything else? And actually, I did change all of them because TY did notice that it did say of the April 2024 ending April 2025. This actually should be April 2025 ending April 2026. So I did change that, and so I'll reprint those out. Is there anything else though that anybody noticed or needs changed?
Sure, just that amendment that you guys pointed
Okay.
out.
Yeah, that's it. Any other discussion?
No. Well, with the changes as noted, move that we extend the operating agreement with Troy Church.
I second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
That motion carries. All right,
Thanks, Bill.
thank you.
You're the best.
All right.
Water Department grant of easement. And we have Chris here, yay, from the Water Department, Chris Johnson.
Hi,
What is- Chris?
so you understand you have a copy of the easement request. Basically, as you know, with the city's annexation of property along US 20, we did need to extend some water main. And there's already easements in place for the extension of the runway. What we found was we had a gap in there that we needed to have easement for permanently. Because that one, we don't know exactly when the runway extension will occur, so we want to call that permanent. And basically would allow us to bring the water main from where it currently is, an existing easement, move it over into the easement that Butler Fairleigh Seaford has put together for the runway extension project. And then our plan for our main installation is to stay within that easement and that Butler Fairleigh Seaford has already recorded on behalf of the airport. But then we also realized that to do this construction, we would need some temporary access and some temporary easement so that we can do the construction work, get the construction work done, and then restore that. And everything gets restored to the condition it looked beforehand. But since it's temporary construction easement, we wanted to make it official, not just ask permission to, if we have to get beyond our easement to do the actual construction work. Since we cannot, basically at this point in time, the only access we will have to this property across Highway 20 is there's a small gravel drive that currently exists over there. And we did also send out it's a form from NDOT that allows us to exit and enter Highway 20. And you guys would have to give permission. That's this additional disclosure. You've seen this.
Yeah, I sent that around everywhere.
And so I have to send that additional disclosure along with a copy of the deed that you guys have for the property to NDOT. So that NDOT will allow us to pull in and out of US 20 at that point. And of course, all of this, everything that's temporary, according to the easement, I believe it has 2 years on it.
From start to finish.
You're right, and we don't anticipate having to do anything for that long, but that would also allow us, if there was any kind of warranty work that needs to be done, we would have the ability to do that.
And do you know where that gravel access is, like on this little, or do you have big plans or anything? I bet you have them on your big set.
It may be on here. Yeah, I don't see it. Can't tell.
Is it something different than the temporary access and construction easement, or are you
Well, we
using?
incorporated under the temporary access portion, it does include this existing gravel
So
drive.
it's somewhere on there?
Yeah.
Okay.
And that's what the farmers use to get on and off? I
Oh,
was
yeah,
just saying there.
yeah.
That's fine over here.
Okay.
So that drive is I think just past this grove of trees. There's a fire hydrant near that point. And so it's right in this area right here is where we would be accessing, coming off Highway 20. And then this water main will go due south, or I'm sorry, this isn't south, this is west. It will go due west and tie into our existing water main that's currently sitting in an easement along US 20 that will be moved when the runway is extended. And then it will come basically south and then head back west and then parallel the roadway in an easement adjacent, and that easement was something that Butler and Fairleigh Seaford had already put in
Correct.
to the property for your airport project.
So in case there's no hiccups or anything, what are you guys thinking about how long this project actually will take if there's no unnecessary delays or anything?
Basically, once we break ground, which is supposed to be April 1st, I believe they have 45 days to complete the project.
Oh, okay, all right.
So, yeah, we're not gonna be in here very long.
That's perfect.
And then with farming, do you think that we need to have some sort of meeting with the contractors and the farmer to make sure that they're all on the same page? Because we have a
Yeah.
lease too with them, so I mean, it's
Yeah.
like both,
Probably a good idea to just
Okay.
talk with them and let them know, hey, for the, basically, it's going to be, it's a 20-foot temporary easement, and then we have a permanent easement. So basically, anything in that 40-foot span would recommend planting anything in there
okay,
if he's planning to do any planting this spring.
okay,
Now, he
And
might
he
be out of
is.
there before,
Yeah.
he may be out of there before he actually plants it. I don't know
Okay.
what he's planning to put in
Okay.
there.
okay.
Is that going to affect the sort of value of what the farmer is paying then?
I mean, yeah, well, I'll have to figure that out.
Yeah.
Because I don't know if they actually go that far, you know, anyways, like into that area. I'm not sure. I will have to talk to the farmer and find out where he's planning on planting, so.
And worst case, if there is a significant dollar amount involved, you need to just let us know. I'm sure my board would have no problem helping bridge that gap.
Okay,
Thank you.
But yeah, since there's no crops in there yet, we don't have to worry about damaged crops.
yes, correct.
So maybe by heading this off,
At least one of the main things is if you gotta be able to get in there earlier, make some general big stakes, just to know where it's eventually gonna go. That way, if he has to start seeding,
well,
he just,
everything should be staked with, I imagine we're gonna have folks out there staking probably either within the next week or so, or
it's even
by
better.
April 1st.
Perfect, okay, all right, excellent.
Because that's when we break ground, is
Yeah,
is
okay.
April 1st.
Nice, okay, perfect.
Any further discussions?
No?
So we get a motion?
I'd like to make a motion that we accept the water department grant of easement on parcel 46-01-36-001.000.022.
Good. Second.
I second that.
All right, all in favor? Carries. Thank you.
All right, and then that just brings us to our cash farm lease. This year it went up quite a bit per acre, so that's a really nice change for us. There is a new farmer that is gonna be farming it. And the only difference between this lease and the one that we had right before it was they actually are paying upfront instead of after the crop season. And Halderman liked that better because this is a farmer that they don't have any leases with already, and so they wanted to make sure that, you know, he paid upfront to farm the property. Yeah, so everything else is the same.
Okay, we're getting some, the 4,400, is that the values?
Yes. Yep.
How'd you arrive at 110?
I don't arrive at that. That's like the farm legal people that do all the farm leases. It was 45.
Because this is- Okay. Any further discussion? No. Okay, can we get a motion?
I make a motion, we accept Horman's cash farm lease for $110 per acre, $4,400 total.
My second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you again.
So that's back.
Okay, okay, good.
I brought that up at the last meeting. We can make adjustments. You know what I mean? We're good. Going forward.
What's that, sorry?
Please, go.
Where'd you get the number?
I move we accept the claims docket as written. Everybody signed it.
Yes, I'll sign that, thank you.
Can I hear it go second?
Oh, how much is it for?
$2.57. $18,704.01.
Thank you. I'll second.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, motion carries.
I'm not gonna be adding any more on now. Right, thank you. No. Public comment.
All right.
No
Your
correspondence.
first one is, public, before we do public comments, what, We want to talk a little bit about what was our discussion we were having about bridal rental of this?
Oh, yeah, that was just, I kind of talked a little bit about that in the beginning, about like private meetings in the hangar building for the fee schedule.
Yeah.
So, they decided to go a different route with their bridal shower. Shocker.
Okay, but that still doesn't prevent us from setting a value.
No, and so that's,
Future renters, right?
yep, daily was $100,
Okay.
between 8 and 5. So we currently can only have private rentals during our staffed hours. And then I said after hours is just like, availability of staff. And then they'd have to pay for that additional cost for staffing. So, that's all I put for.
So we all agree that, it's $100, because I proposed 75. Jessica, you
I
started,
proposed 100.
you started with 50.
Yeah,
So I was in the middle of that with 75.
100's fine.
So 100, okay.
250? Right here, 250.
do I hear $1,000? Oh, okay,
We don't,
If it was remodeled,
we
yes.
don't need,
correct.
we don't need.
Absolutely.
No, I don't think so, I mean, unless we're
So
lunching.
100, we settle for 100.
Okay.
So 25 for
Per night for single
single,
and 40 for
20
twin.
for twin, and then 100 for anyone.
Private rental,
Okay.
correct.
Great. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. All right, Henry, comments?
I have a couple comments. Number one, on that hangar, it's heated, correct?
It is.
So $25 a night inside the heated hangar?
25.
$25.
Yeah,
That's a great deal.
excellent deal.
Second
We
question,
can change that.
would there be opposition to doing maintenance there, such as, for example, an oil change in the winter?
That would be a no.
I can. That's the.
Maybe that's the one thing that's really hard when it's 5 degrees is to change oil in your plane. But I would gladly pay to put it in a heated hangar and do it there.
It sounds like $100 a day.
That's what I was gonna say.
I mean,
You can rent it for the whole day.
All right, well, so that's something we've got to think about.
Think about
Well, that's during hours. You just said during hours, $100.
Yeah, so, yeah. If
it
you
would be
want-
cheaper than a heated hangar.
It would.
Yeah,
Still,
because we're gonna turn the heat on for whoever wants to do that stuff in there, right? So, I think 100 is good.
I mean, I think that that's something that we publicize and might get more usage in the winter because that's attractive to pilots that don't want to work in the cold. Second point,
good kick.
Good.
thanks for fixing the ground reel. That's awesome. It's going to be a great improvement. And finally, don't forget June 20th, the Michigan City Beach Weekend Fly-In.
TY will be here.
Tell all your out-of-town friends to fly in, hang out in Michigan City.
Speaking about that, what is your feeling right now? Have you contacted a lot of people?
We have,
Size it?
we've created an Evite page.
Okay.
And I'm working on a flyer. I'm hoping to have that this week. That we can send to all of the airports downstate and other places.
And it's on Social Flight.
It's on social flight, yes, which refers to the thing, but until we're actually getting out there and publicizing it, I don't think we're gonna get like huge traction. So, and even that, who knows, it might just be 3 of us out there. I'm okay with that too. But no, it should be fun, so if you know anybody out of town who wants to fly in, camping or hotels are available.
You have activities planned, right, or not?
Yes.
So, can you give us some idea of what you're thinking in terms of activities? I mean, this is how many days this?
Starting Friday afternoon, ending Sunday.
Okay, so it's a 3-day thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Friday, we came up with a really good idea. We had a meeting here with Jessica. We had a really good idea to have a Friday night welcome buffet type thing with local pilots making some food and just having it, very casual. But when pilots fly in, and get their tent set up, whatever, they probably don't want to go somewhere then eat. So we'll have stuff. Chili was mentioned, as well as maybe we'll grill some hot dogs and hamburgers.
Yeah, so we're gonna invite the tenants to come out, and they're gonna be able to showcase their hangers. What tenant doesn't like to showcase their hanger? They all do. So it'll be really great. They can come out, meet the pilots that are flying in, and walk around. We have a fire. I got back from the fire marshal, so we're allowed to have the
Really?
fire pit. It's gonna be awesome. It's gonna be so fun.
Did you see my eyes
We'll
lit
have
up when you
music.
said that? Yeah, it's gonna be great. So our goal is to convince people to move to Michigan City and expand our great pilot population.
And then Saturday, do you have activities like,
There's a list.
presenting on stuff,
And I can send you-
avionics and.
No.
Right, but
This is for families, TY.
it's recreational, so it's a
Yeah.
lot of, go to the brewery, go to the winery, go to the beach, go to the zoo, go to,
No heavy
downtown
stuff.
Michigan City.
No heady stuff.
No heavy Oshkosh.
Oh, the idea was this is flying for the whole family,
Okay,
so,
flying and camping for the whole family.
yes, exactly.
And to check to make sure that they have all their gear ready and everything for Oshkosh. So that was kind of the other
Good
thing. Yeah.
pre-Oshkosh camping environment, make sure everything's working right. So, yeah.
All right, we're looking forward to it.
Yes, it is, one thing I want to clarify, it's only open to pilots flying into Michigan City. It's not open to the general public because we don't want to just have a big camp out here. It's not, we're not set up for that. But it's open to any pilots flying in to Michigan City.
Yep.
Camp out or stay with us.
Nice.
We're looking into shuttle buses to try and move people around because they won't have cars. So we're trying to find a way for people to get around more easily, using shuttle buses and or Ubers and things like that.
And donations for coffee, donations for coffee, we're looking for donations for donuts and stuff, so we'll get all that. It's all gonna come, I promise it's gonna be great.
So I'm curious, so on Saturday, what if community members, hear about this and they just kind of want to see airplanes or,
Hopefully we won't be here, we'll be at the beach with all the people.
Well, we'll have somebody here, to kind of monitor.
so,
Stuff.
word get around, people want to see planes, that's what airports are for. And when they hear there's an activity, they want to come out and see
Yeah.
things, so.
Yes, of course.
Yeah, this one probably won't be like a community event, we're not advertising this now.
It's not speaking.
You say like you'll have someone like, hey, what's going on? Like, I'm not opposed to showing people the airplanes. Like,
Yeah.
hey, come see the airplane, check it out, it's cool. But don't come set up your tents. We just don't have room for all that.
Yeah,
So
Where's it gonna be set up?
between here and the shack, the gazebo.
Oh,
We don't have a shack on the
Yeah, the shack.
the
What do
little,
you call that? It's literally like a radio shack.
it's a little garage, I don't know, a little vault, the vault.
For the radio stuff.
Okay,
So yes, I'll loop you in if you want to see all the details.
okay.
I'll send you the link to sign up. $50 per pilot.
I won't be here for the next meeting, but
50.
Okay.
Oh, you're gonna charge 50?
Yes.
Oh, so you won't get any parachuters then?
Well, that is one of the activities, actually, is parachuting. So.
Which will be super fun,
Just
yeah.
saying.
That's gonna be awesome.
Well, I think we had a nice day today, so can I get motion to adjourn?
I'll make the motion, we adjourn.
that's not.
All in favor? All right.
All right,
Thank you very
great.
much, everybody.